This is the part 3 of What If Goku Was in High School DXD. Before started the video, I would suggest everyone to watch other parts of the video for better understanding of the story. You can find the videos in the channel. Now let's start the video. After receiving a message from Sona asking him to help her with a certain mission, Goku left the party by teleporting to where Sona was. "I'm here, Sona," said Goku, suddenly appearing and surprising Sona and Tsubaki in the student council room. "Don't scare me like that, Goku," Sona scolded, her heart racing from the fright. "How did you suddenly appear without us noticing?" Tsubaki asked, still breathing heavily from the shock. "Oh, this is a skill I learned a long time ago," Goku explained to the two girls, describing how and when he learned it, surprising them with the intense life he had lived. "Well, putting that aside, I called you because I need your help with a mission I've been assigned," Sona said, now changing the subject. "But why don't you use your servants and complete the mission?" Goku asked, confused. "This mission is very dangerous and they're not ready yet," Sona replied to Goku. "If we had more power, we would go without hesitation, but..." Tsubaki said, frustrated at not being stronger. "Well, don't make that face. Power is gained little by little, and you both still have a lot of room for improvement," Goku told Tsubaki, placing a hand on her shoulder and smiling to reassure her that she wouldn't feel so frustrated. "Thank you, Goku," Tsubaki said with a smile to the Saiyan. "Besides, if you make that face, Kiba would be sad," he said with a mocking smile to the girl, who turned bright red. Sona, who was watching this, could only smile at her friend who was chasing Goku around the club room, annoyed and with a red face. "Then let's get going," Sona said, now serious, and Goku nodded. The two entered the magic circle and were transported to a rocky place where there was nothing in the surroundings, but one thing caught Goku's attention: the red sky. "Hey Sona, where are we?" Goku asked the girl. "We are in the demon world," Sona replied to the question while analyzing Goku's expression. So this is the world of demons," he said without any reaction. "Aren't you surprised?" Sona asked, not seeing the expected reaction. "Actually, I've been to stranger places," Goku said, recalling Hell and several planets he had visited. "You're a very strange person, Goku," she said with a sigh. The two were walking in a specific direction, which surprised Goku, since Sona seemed to know very well where they were going without any kind of map or help. "Hey Sona, who sent you on this mission?" Goku asked. "He was one of the Mao," she said without stopping walking. "Mao?" he said with a question mark over his head. "The Mao are the demon rulers of this place. To put it simply, they are the strongest," Sona said to the confused Goku. But this only made him more excited as he listened to the loudest sounds, and with stars in his eyes he imagined some super powerful guys. "I don't know what you're thinking in your crazy head, but the Mao aren't as powerful as you're imagining," Sona told the Saiyan, who seemed not to have heard a word she said. After walking for a while they arrived at their destination, which was an industrial warehouse in the middle of nowhere, guarded by armed demons. "This is the place," Sona pointed to the industrial building. I sense several energies, one of them is from demons and the other seems to be from humans," Goku said while rubbing his chin with his hand. "Apparently, those humans were kidnapped to be turned into demon slaves and then sold by some high-class demons," Sona said irritably. "Then let's go, and finish this quickly," Goku said with a serious look, which Sona didn't miss and made her blush, as she had never seen this side of the Saiyan. And with that said, Goku shot off towards the guards without warning, leaving Sona with her plan hanging in her throat. He's so impulsive, but I don't mind it," Sona said to herself as she watched Goku wreak havoc. Once inside, Goku guided them using his key detection ability, and they quickly arrived where the kidnapped people were located. "Calm down, everyone, we're all here to rescue you," Sona said in a reassuring tone. "Now step aside for a second," Goku said, to which the people moved aside, and with a small ball of energy he destroyed the magic barrier. "Now try to stay together and don't separate," Sona said to the people, who nodded. "Goku, you go ahead, and if you see an enemy, eliminate them," the dark-haired woman told the Saiyan, who nodded. Everything was going well, and thanks to Goku, who eliminated everyone in his path, they were able to leave without any problems and take everyone to the transportation circle created by Sona before entering. When the people were successfully rescued and were about to leave, Goku sensed an even stronger human energy. "Hey Sona, it seems there's still one more person," Goku said to the dark-haired woman who was about to leave. Then let's go get him and get out of here before things get worse, Sona said, to which Goku nodded. Wait here, I'll go get the fast one, and saying that, Goku disappeared with 2 fingers on his forehead. What a convenient technique, she said with a half smile. In a room was a young man with ash blonde hair, his hands and legs bound. His name was Saji Genshiro, and he had been kidnapped on his way home from school. Now he was in this state, waiting for the boss to turn him into a slave servant. The men watching him seemed nervous about something, and that terrified him because he didn't want them to take out their nervousness and fear on him. But all that was unfounded because at that moment a guy with gravity-defying hair suddenly appeared and eliminated the guards in an instant. He couldn't believe that this boy, who seemed to be the same age as him, could do something like that so easily and without breaking a sweat. And while he was thinking all those things, the young man approached him and untied him. Relax, it's all over now, Goku told Saji. Thank you, was all he could manage to say, stuttering, still surprised. What is your name? Goku asked. Saji Genshiro, said Saji, and Goku, with a smile, extended his hand, which Saji took. Nice to meet you, Saji. I'm Son Goku, but you can call me Goku, he said. Ah, I know who you are, you're the one they call the Guardian Prince of Kuo, said Saji, who now remembered who he was, but Goku wasn't too amused by that name. Ha! That name is embarrassing, please don't call me that, Goku said with a sigh. I'm sorry, Saji apologized to the depressed Goku. Well, it seems you were the last one, so let's go, Goku said, to which Saji nodded. And with that, the two of them left the place using Goku's teleportation. Sona was waiting for Goku next to the teleportation circle and didn't notice the guy who suddenly and without warning launched a powerful magic attack against her. It should be said that if Sona had been paying attention, that attack wouldn't have been a problem to dodge, but that wasn't the case, and she could only watch as they caught her by surprise and hope she didn't die from the attack. But time passed and nothing happened, and then he decided to open his eyes, only to see Goku's face staring at the demon who had attacked Sona with fury. She was surprised, not by being rescued or by Goku's furious glare, but by the fact that he was carrying her in his powerful arms princess style and they were floating in the air without their wings extended. With her face redder than a sunset, she asked Goku, Goku, can you fly without using your demon wings? Now changing his expression, he replied, I could always fly, didn't I tell you? You never said anything about that. Sona exasperatedly replied to the clueless Goku. Does Rias know about this? No, the subject never came up, he said in a neutral tone. So I'm the first, she thought, smiling like a silly girl in love. Goku just watched that reaction with a raised eyebrow as he descended and gently placed Sona on the ground. Now die, Goku said to the demon, who couldn't even respond because he was disintegrated by a powerful ki blast. Saji, who was watching everything from a safe place, thought he was either dead or dreaming because of the crazy things that were happening, but he was soon pulled from his thoughts when Goku and Sona called him to leave. Once at Kuo Academy, the kidnapped people had already gone home, leaving only Sona, Tsubaki, Goku, and Saji behind. Then Saji, goodbye, Goku said to Saji, but Saji said something that surprised everyone present. I want to become a demon, he said seriously. Are you sure, Saji? Goku asked. Yes, after everything that happened, I realized that I am weak and need power to protect myself and those around me. That answer brought a smile to the Saiyan's face, who patted him on the shoulder and gave him a thumbs up. So, Sona, what do you say about making him part of your clan? Goku asked Sona, and Saji looked at her hopefully. Sona just stared at Saji and Goku's faces with a raised eyebrow, then looked at her friend who simply nodded, and with a sigh Sona accepted, and Goku happily gave her a hug, making her blush. And that's how Saji became a demon and part of the Citri clan. During Goku's 2-month absence, the girls seemed like lost souls. Who would have thought that the absence of their beloved would leave them in such a pitiful state? The only one who seemed normal was Akeno, which seemed to imply that she didn't truly love him. Kiba and Issei watched as these deteriorated day by day until this point. They look like zombies, Issei said to Kiba upon seeing the girls. Certainly, but that shows how much they love Goku and how damaging his absence is for them, Kiba said. What the heck is he doing that's taking so long? Issei wondered. I don't know, but I'm sure he'll tell us when he gets back, or at least I hope so, Kiba replied. Well, handsome boy, I'm off to train a bit, said Issei, patting Kiba on the shoulder. Kiba said nothing because he knew that Issei had recently been working hard in his training to become stronger. And so Issei left Goku's house in the direction of the mountains to begin his training. The girls performed the household chores robotically, as if they had no soul inside, due to the absence of their beloved. This affected them more than expected. If he had decided to return to his world, what would his condition be? They didn't even want to think about it. But just as they were all wondering what would become of them if he left, Goku suddenly returned home. "Hi girls, how have you been?" she said casually with her typical smile. Those who saw that, as if something inside them loosened, began to cry and ran towards their beloved, tackling him tightly and crying like little girls. Poor Goku, when he saw them rushing at him, could only let them do it and ended up buried under an avalanche of women and breasts. "Okay girls, calm down, don't cry anymore," Goku tried to reassure the girls by stroking them in turns. After a few minutes they were all calmer. But after crying so much their faces were a mess, and realizing this they told Goku they would be back in a second. With a smile, he told them to take their time, that he wasn't going anywhere, but the girls still remembered the 2 months of his absence and hurried to get ready as best they could. Now everyone was seated at the large table in the hall and all eyes were on Goku. Rias was the first to break the silence. "So if you came back, that means you achieved your goal, right?" Rias asked, and the others seemed to have the same question in their eyes. "That's it, it took a lot of effort but I finally got what I was missing," Goku said, looking at everyone. "Will you show us that new power?" Madaka asked excitedly. "I don't know if I should show you my new form," Goku said thoughtfully. "Don't be like that, Goku," Tiamat said, shaking Goku. "Goku-senpai is a cheapskate," Kaneko said, kicking him under the table. "Ouch, Tiamat, and you too, Kaneko, that hurts," Goku told the annoying girls. "Then there's no food for you today," Rainer said, sounding threatening. "No, anything but that, Rainer, please," Goku pleaded with Rainer, who wore a victorious smile. "Goku-san, I didn't know you were like this," Asia said sadly, with fake tears. "No, Asia, if you do that you'll break my heart," said Goku, who couldn't bear to see his beloved Asia sad. "Goku, you can't win, so give up," Rias told a defeated Goku. Okay girls, but I warn you that you might not like what you see," said a resigned Goku with a sigh. "No matter what you show us, we will always love you, no matter what form you take," Rias said as a spokesperson for the girls, who nodded in agreement. "Don't underestimate us." Goku saw how his girls loved him with all their hearts, which made him the happiest man in the world. But upon closer inspection, there was a missing girl. "Where is Akeno?" Goku asked. "Akeno went to the temple to clean," said Tiamat. "It's a shame she's absent," Goku said, a little sad that he couldn't see Akeno. At that moment the front door opened and someone said, "I'm back," and it was Akeno who had finished cleaning the temple. When she entered, the bags containing the ice cream she had bought on her way home fell to the floor when she saw that Goku had returned. The man who looked at her gave her a full smile, which made the young woman's heart skip a beat. I see you're back," but he couldn't finish because Goku approached and gave him a hug, which made him blush. Akeno usually has an personality and likes to be dominant, but she is weak to displays of affection. "I missed you so much, Akeno," Goku said, still hugging her. Akeno's heart was beating so fast that if you could hear it you might think she was having a heart attack, and her face was bright red. The girls watched this amused, because normally Akeno made fun of them for how they acted, but now she was the one who looked most like a love-struck maiden. When Goku stopped hugging her, she ran away covering her face in embarrassment while the others laughed and Goku had question marks above his head. Kan Issei. Issei was in a meadow trying to master the Kaioken that Goku taught him, but it was taking him longer than expected because he had to maintain perfect control so as not to get hurt in the process. "This is taking longer than expected," Issei said as he took a short break. "That's correct, partner, but if you manage to master it, you'll have an advantage against most opponents," Drake told him, knowing the effects of the technique. "That's true," Goku said he can currently use up to 50 times in his base form, Issei said, thinking how amazing his friend was. But Goku said it took him a long time to become what he is today, partner. He must have trained very hard to achieve his current power. That's why we need to master this technique for when we face the white, the dragon said. "I will do my best," Issei said with determination to become stronger, looking up at the sky. But when he looked, something strange happened. A vortex-shaped hole formed in the sky. The first thing that came to his mind was the dimensional rift from when Goku's rival, Vegeta, appeared. But this was different. Its shape was like a deep, dark vortex. "What the hell is that?" Issei said, confused. "I don't know, mate, but you should be prepared just in case," D-Drake wisely warned his companion. "That's right, balance breaker. And now let whatever comes, come," said Issei, now equipped with his crimson armor. While expecting the worst, Issei noticed something that seemed to be coming from inside the breach and being expelled from it. He stared intently to see if it could be an enemy, but when he saw it emerge and fall out of her uncontrollably, he quickly knew it wasn't. Upon closer inspection, he realized it was a person, and that they were unconscious. He quickly spread his wings and went to meet the person who was now falling uncontrollably towards the ground, but Issei caught the person and descended slowly. The hole was now closing as if it had completed its work, leaving Issei surprised by the events, but first he had to see if the rescued person was alright. The person in question was wearing a full body coat and was hooded. When Issei touched down and gently placed the person on the ground, he proceeded to remove the hood. When he removed her hood, he saw that she was a young woman of about his age. Her short hair was white and her face was beautiful. Upon seeing the young woman, Issei felt a sudden attraction. His heart raced as he watched her unconscious. This could only be love at first sight, something he never thought could happen to him. It was a cliché, something that only occurred in manga and novels, but there he was, proof that such things do happen in real life. When the young woman opened her eyes, she saw that she was lying on the grass, and that caught her attention. She quickly tried to stand up, but she was still weak from what had happened. She became alert when someone approached her. "Hey, you should lie down a little more," said the voice coming from the red armor in front of her. That put her on guard, thinking she had been kidnapped to be sold as a slave or something similar. "Who are you?" the young woman shouted as she backed away. "Calm down, I don't want to hurt you or anything like that," Issei said nervously, trying to calm the young woman. "You're lying, you probably want to sell me out or something worse," the young woman said, distrusting Issei. "Not at all, I only rescued you when I saw you fall from that hole that opened up in the sky a while ago," he told her to calm her down. "A hole," she said, confused. "That's right, it appeared while I was training and you came out of it," Issei replied to the confused girl. "Then why do you look so suspicious?" the girl asked, pointing at his armor. "Oh, ha ha ha, sorry, I'll take it off right away," and with that, the crimson armor disappeared. "My name is Hyodo Issei and I'm more or less human," Issei introduced himself. "I am Lizanna Strauss and I am a fairy tale mage," the girl introduced herself. "Lizanna, it's a pretty name, but what do you mean by a magician?" he said, confused. "Aren't there any wizard guilds around here?" Lizanna asked. "Magicians, like the ones who pull rabbits out of hats and stuff," he said, not understanding. Lizanna didn't understand anything. "It seems the anima threw me into a world very different from my own," she thought upon seeing Issei's reaction. "Hey Issei, where are we now?" Lizanna asked, wanting to clear up any doubts. "We are in Kuo City in Japan," he said, not understanding the reason for the question. "So I see, it really is another world," Lizanna murmured. He was in a bind because he knew nothing about this world, and on top of that, it was a world without mages, so he would have to find a way to survive from now on. "Hey, if you need a place to stay, you could come to my house. It's not very big, but it's better than nothing," Issei suggested, seeing Lizanna's worried face. "But is that okay with you, accepting a stranger like me?" Lizanna said, making a cute face that made Issei blush. No problem, besides, I couldn't leave you alone on the street, it could be dangerous with a beautiful girl like you out there alone," he said nervously. This took Lizanna by surprise, as she had been called pretty but never beautiful, and that made her blush a lot. Thank you, Issei, she said nervously and blushing. Then everything settled. "Welcome to Kuo Lizanna," he said, extending his hand. "Thank you, I'll be in your care from now on." Lizanna, blushing and smiling, accepted his offer, taking his hand. Just as they were about to leave, Goku and the others suddenly appeared and approached Issei and Lizanna. "I sensed a strange key near you. Is everything alright, Issei?" Goku asked his friend. "Yes, don't worry, I'll tell you everything, but first I want to introduce you to someone," he said, pointing to Lizanna. "Hello everyone, I'm Lizanna Strauss, nice to meet you," she said, bowing slightly. And so they all introduced themselves to Lizana, who was nervous at first but calmed down when she saw that they were good people. Everyone was surprised by Issei's story about how Lizana appeared in Kuo, but what surprised them most and brought mischievous smiles to the faces of those present was seeing Lizana and him holding hands as if the world wanted to separate them. "Oh, it seems Issei has found love," Madaka said mischievously. When he and Lizana realized they had been holding hands the whole time, they quickly let go, blushing, which caused smiles among those present. "She's a good girl, treat her well," Goku said, patting him on the shoulder and giving him a thumbs up. "Be chivalrous to her," Kiba said, placing his hand on the other shoulder of the brown-haired man. The girls whistled and congratulated Lizana, which made both of them wish the earth would swallow them up out of embarrassment. Then Goku, "It's time for what we promised," Rias said, changing the subject, which the affected parties appreciated. "It's fine but take a break," said Goku. "What's wrong, Kiba?" Issei asked, not understanding anything. "Goku is going to show us his new transformation," the blonde replied. "Woo, I'm super fired up," Issei exclaimed, excited to witness his friend's new form. Lizana, who didn't understand anything that had happened, could only ask Akino what was going on. "Now Goku will show us his new form that he acquired after his training," Akino said. "New form?" Lizana asked, confused. "Look and you will understand," was the best thing Akino could say. And then a great light shone and rays surrounded it along with a strong wind. Those present were excited to know what the new form would be. The only one who was scared by what had happened was Lizana, who couldn't understand how a person could generate so much power in their body. Once the light dissipated and the smoke cleared, those present were left with ridiculous faces, their eyes popping out of their faces in anime style. "This is what you wanted to see, Super Saiyan 4, said Goku, now in his adult form. "Why do you look like an adult?" Rias asked. "I don't know why, but it seems that to be in this form you need an adult body," Goku replied. Everyone thought he looked imposing, his Super Saiyan form was impressive, but this one, for some reason, commanded a lot of respect. "So you're satisfied now," Goku said, but unintentionally, that way he intimidated them all. "Is that a takeover?" Lizana said, impressed by the pressure exerted by the SSJ-4, remembering her brother Elfman. Goku returned to normal and sighed, as he still hadn't fully mastered that form and it was taking a great toll on him. When the others saw young Goku again, they bombarded him with questions, which made him nervous, especially seeing the girls so excited. Was it because of Super Saiyan 4? Who knows, but these girls are getting more and more dangerous. If he wasn't careful, they might attack him one night. It has been 3 weeks since Lizana's arrival. Issei's family welcomed her with open arms and were happy to have such a beautiful daughter, and Lizana was happy to have a new family. 2 weeks later, she confessed to Issei, and you might wonder why it was her and not him. That's because Lizana didn't want to repeat the same mistake she made with her first love, and to be sure, she proposed to him, and he quickly accepted. At first she wasn't in love, she only did it to secure her position, but over time she developed feelings for him. It should be said that she is the one who calls the shots in the relationship and that doesn't bother Issei, who fell in love with Lizana from the first day they met and she knew it. Apparently, Issei developed a taste for white hair, and this could be seen when he flirted with one of Sona's bishops, Hanakai Momo, who had a hair color similar to Lizana's. In the club room, everyone was gathered as usual after classes. "Lizana, it seems you're not bothered by seeing Issei flirting with other girls," Rias asked. "Not at all, Rias, he can flirt all he wants, but I'm first in his heart," Lizana replied with a smile. "You're more calculating than I thought," Rias said, a drop of sweat forming on her forehead. "But I must say, it seems my destiny is to fall in love with guys connected to red dragons," Lizana said with a resigned smile. "What do you mean by that?" Rainer asked, intrigued. "My first love was raised by a red dragon, but I was so naive that by the time I realized it, our relationship had become something like siblings. That's why this time I got ahead of him and caught Issei before something similar happened," Lizana replied with a calculating look. "Lizana, what a dangerous girl," Akino said, surprised by how calculating Lizana could be. Issei, who was listening to everything, could only think that it wasn't so bad being controlled like that by a girl as beautiful as Lizana. That same night at Goku's house, the girls, after seeing and listening to Lizana, decided to be more aggressive in their relationship with Goku, which seemed to be stuck in the day-to-day and not progressing. The girls discussed it amongst themselves and decided that if they didn't take the first step, things wouldn't progress, as Goku wasn't very keen to do so and seemed happy with things as they were. All the girls, including Grafia who now lived with them, decided to go on dates with him, and the order would be decided by rock, paper, scissors, after making it clear to Rias that her engagement to Goku did not give her the right to be first and was only a verbal commitment. Goku agreed to this and left everything in the hands of the girls, who now all had dangerous auras as they prepared to play. The final result was as follows: 1 Rias, 2 Asia, 3 Rainer, 4 Cone, 5 Akino, 6 Madaka, 7 Grafia, 8 Tiamat. Rias jumped around like a happy child, convinced she was the winner, thinking it was fate, while Tiamat, who came in last, was on her hands and knees on the ground, comically crying waterfalls of tears. Goku, we'll have our date this Sunday, so be ready, Rias said, pointing at Goku with her face beaming with happiness. Okay Rias, I'll be waiting eagerly, Goku replied, a drop of sweat forming on his forehead as he saw Rias's tension so high. The day of the date arrived and Rias was prepared to seduce Goku using her attributes with a low-cut light cream-colored top and a rather short sky-blue miniskirt. When Goku, who was waiting at the door, saw Rias, his face flushed at the sight of his girlfriend in such revealing clothing. Rias, seeing her boyfriend's reaction, showed a victorious smile, as her plan had been a success. How do I look, Goku? She asked in a cute way. You look very beautiful, Rias, he said, without taking his eyes off her. She approached him and kissed him on the cheek, saying, thank you, my love, and taking his arm, they prepared to leave for their date. Thanks to Rias's outfit, men looked at her lustfully, which annoyed Goku, who just gave them a murderous glare, and when they saw it, they lowered their heads and left. Rias was in heaven seeing her boyfriend being so jealous, which she knew she was, but she couldn't get enough of seeing that side of him, because normally he didn't behave that way and was quite laid back. Their date went smoothly, although it should be mentioned that when Rias wanted them to have dinner at a fancy restaurant, Goku refused, saying that this wasn't the kind of date boys his age would have. Rias, a little disappointed at not having the romantic atmosphere she had planned, eventually agreed and they went to a family restaurant for dinner. Rias was happy with her date with Goku, but it wasn't over yet, because later that night Goku suggested they go somewhere before going home. Where do you want to go, Goku? Rias asked nervously, thinking they were going to one of those famous love hotels. Leave the rest to me, Goku replied, carrying Rias like a princess, much to her surprise. What are you doing, Goku? This is embarrassing, Rias stammered, overwhelmed by how sudden and awkward this was. Just hold on tight, and with that, Goku took off into the sky with Rias, red-faced, clinging to him. Goku flew at a normal speed so that Rias could enjoy the views from the sky. That night the sky was quite cloudy and the stars and the full moon couldn't be seen, but Goku slowly rose above the clouds so that Rias could appreciate everything. They had flown far enough and were now over the open sea where Goku had stopped. The sea shone beautifully in the moonlight, making the atmosphere quite romantic. Beautiful, Rias said, lost in thought amidst the beauty of the place. I wanted to show you this no matter what, Goku said, smiling at Rias's reaction. Rias, now with her wings spread, stood face to face with Goku, staring intently at him. I never thought you were a romantic person, she said mockingly. I didn't think so either. It seems that being in this world has changed me more than I expected, he said, looking at the starry sky. I'd like to ask you something, Goku, may I? Rias asked, embarrassed. If it's in my hands, Goku replied with a smile. Could you use that red form of yours? Rias asked, a little uneasy. Are you referring to the Kaioken? He said, confused by the question. Yes, I'll tell you that your golden form and the one that transforms you into an adult are great, but my favorite is when you were in your Kaioken, she replied, embarrassed. Ha ha ha, you're a very interesting person, Rias, Goku burst out laughing, much to Rias's surprise. I don't see the humor in it, she said, embarrassed, puffing out her cheeks cutely. Ha, sorry Rias for laughing, I didn't mean to offend you, I just found what you said interesting, said Goku, now calming down from his sudden fit of laughter. Humph, you're stupid, Rias said, turning her face away as if she were angry. Come on, don't be angry, I'll show you something better than the Kaioken in return, Goku said, hoping she would forgive him. Something better? Rias asked, glancing sideways, still with her head turned. Exactly, Something no one else has seen and that you'll surely like more, he said mischievously to get her attention. This caught Rias's interest, and she turned to look at him again, to which Goku smiled mischievously, seeing that his plan had been a success. Then show it to me, but if it's not to my liking I won't speak to you for a week, Rias replied with a fake anger that fooled no one. Goku approached her and kissed her on the cheek, making Rias blush. Goku smiled at her, then stepped back and prepared himself. Goku's body began to glow with a golden light as he slowly rose. The sky began to part, forming a circle of clouds, and in its center, a golden light shone as if it were daytime. The golden glow on Goku's body began to change to an intense crimson red that dazzled Rias, who didn't understand what was happening. Everything was so ominous that it unsettled her. It was as if a god had descended to the earthly world, and that frightened her a little. As the light emanating from Goku began to weaken, Rias regained her vision and noticed the red oval shape descending, and within it, she could see Goku's form. When the energy completely disappeared, Goku was now standing slightly above Rias with the full moon at his back, surrounded by red aura that emitted sparkles. Goku's appearance hadn't changed much, except that he now looked thinner and his hair and eyes were a more intense shade of red than Rias's hair. Rias, who was watching this, thought about her past self, who never thought she could fall more in love with Goku than she already was. But if the Rias of this moment were to meet her, she would only tell her how wrong she was. So, what do you think? Surprise, Goku said to Rias, who was staring at him with her mouth open like an idiot. Seeing that she wasn't reacting, he slowly approached, which caused a reaction in Rias's body, causing a trickle of blood to run from her nose. Rias, your nose is bleeding, Goku said, pointing his finger. Yes, he replied foolishly as he pulled out a handkerchief and, his face completely red, turned around to wipe it. It seems the impact was more than expected. I'll go back to the, but he couldn't finish his sentence because Rias lunged at him, hugging him tightly. No, she screamed desperately. I'm sorry, that was my body's reaction to seeing such a divine and perfect form, she said, speaking quickly. Okay, Goku reassured her when he saw how nervous she was. Rias, now calmer, moved back just enough to get a good look at Goku in his new and splendid form, according to her own criteria and tastes. It's perfect, Rias said with a smile as she examined it closely. I told you you'd like it, Goku replied, smiling. Until now I thought my love for you couldn't be greater, that it was at its limit, but after this I've fallen in love again, and stronger than ever, Rias said, her eyes like hearts. Until a few days ago, she thought Goku was her destined man, but now her mindset has changed, and she believes she was born only to meet this man and that her destiny is to be his for all eternity. What is the name of this shape? Rias asked, now being hugged around the waist. He's the Super Saiyan God, Goku replied. So, God, there couldn't be a better word to describe him, said Rias, who was amazed. The word, God, isn't just for show. If you look closely, you'll notice you can't feel my power, Goku told him. Oh, that's right, what's the reason for this? Rias asked, realizing she couldn't feel anything. That's due to my divine power. Only those with similar strength will be able to sense it, Goku explained. And to think that my boyfriend and fiancé is a true god, Rias said in a love-struck voice. Goku, I will love you for all eternity. Me too, he replied. And with that, they kissed passionately with the full moon as witness to their vow of eternal love, but while they were kissing, Goku sensed someone watching them and stopped their passionate kiss, which annoyed Rias. It's rude to spy on a couple while they're kissing, Goku said, staring off into space. Rias, confused because she didn't understand why Goku was talking to the void, looked closer and then a figure materialized. The individual wore a long black trench coat with a hood. His face could not be seen as he appeared to be using a spell to hide it, and only darkness could be seen. My apologies, it wasn't my intention to disturb your romantic moment, said the individual with a distorted voice and an exaggerated bow. Do you know him, Goku? Rias asked, now on guard. I don't recall ever meeting such an eccentric guy, he shook his head. That's right, this is the first time we've met, Son Goku, said the guy in black. It seems you know me, but I don't know who you are. Do you have a name? Goku asked. My name doesn't matter, but if I had to say, you can call me Zero, said the guy in black. It sounds fake to me, but I don't really care, to be honest, Goku replied indifferently. You're too carefree, my love, Rias said, giving him a kiss on the cheek. Ha ha ha, you're just like they say, Son Goku, but our time talking must end, Zero said, trying to sound threatening. Oh, from what I can see you have a lot of confidence in yourself, Goku asked, amused. They said your strength was enormous, but from what I see, it was just old wives' tales. I can't even sense anything from you, Zero replied mockingly. Goku, who had been on guard until that moment, relaxed when he realized that this guy called Zero couldn't defeat him because he couldn't sense his divine ki. At that moment, a circle made of shadow was created from Zero's feet, and from that circle emerged a shadow in the shape of a human. The shadow had a kind of houri made of flames, and its spiky hair had 2 strands sticking up over its head, along with a kind of ribbon that danced behind its head. The shadow quickly created a kind of sphere surrounded by a shuriken, and it spun rapidly in a manner similar to Krillin's Kenzin, which he threw at Goku, but he, without even moving from the spot, disintegrated it with just his aura. Seeing that his attack was useless, the shadow began to gather energy while creating a huge sphere in front of his hands. Goku, who was watching this, could only think how useless it was. After creating the sphere that was large enough to destroy half a mountain, it was fired towards Goku, who simply extended his hand forward and stopped it. Zero was surprised by the event because he was confident that this shadow would be enough to defeat Son Goku, but how wrong he was when he saw Goku crush the sphere with his hand. Tired of this, Goku disappeared from everyone's sight and appeared in front of the shadow. With his hand, he grabbed the shadow's head and, with a little force, crushed it, making the shadow disappear. If this is all you've got, I'm disappointed, Goku said to Zero with a bored expression. This isn't over yet, Zero said, making 2 more shadows appear. The 2 new shadows had different appearances than the previous one. One seemed to be covered with armor with a helmet that looked like it was shaped like a horse, and the other had a long cut houri and hakama with a kind of katana. The armored shadow began making ridiculous movements that gave you time to attack, but Goku wanted to see what would happen when it finished. When it finished, energy bullets shot out of its fist, which disintegrated upon touching Goku's aura. The other shadow seemed to concentrate its power in the sword, which launched a crescent moon of power that Goku made disappear with a movement of his hand. Having seen everything they possessed, Goku, in the same way as before, destroyed them both. Zero, who watched this with fear, did not believe it possible that his best shadows could be defeated so easily. Now it's your turn, said Goku, shaking his hands as if they were covered in dust. Ha ha ha, you're very strong, Goku, but this is as far as we go for now, Zero said as he backed away. Do you think you'll escape? Goku said confidently. Of course I will, but remember that one day I will return and I will have your shadow, Son Goku, he said as he sank into a portal he had created and disappeared. When he completely disappeared, Rias approached Goku, who was still staring at where Zero had been. But no longer sensing her power, he relaxed and returned to his base form. Who was that weird guy? Rias asked. No idea, but it seems we'll see him again in the future, Goku replied seriously. And with the incident over, Goku and Rias returned home to tell the others about what had happened. Goku and Rias, now at home, gathered everyone to tell them about the enemy that appeared before them and to warn them to be careful if he appeared again. It seems he has a dangerous ability, Kiba said with a serious expression. You worry too much, Kiba. If he shows up in front of me, I'll destroy him with what I learned from Goku, Madaka replied with a confident look. Madaka, that trust could cost you your life, Lizana warned her. Lizana is right, we're not Goku, that's why we need to be cautious, Issei replied. Peef. If that lunatic appears in front of me, I'll bite his head off, Tiamat replied. Tiamat, not all of us can be dragon kings like you, Akino replied with a sigh. I'll do my best if it appears, Asia said while timidly raising her hand. Don't worry Asia, if that guy tries to do anything to you I'll pierce him with my spear of light, Rainer said as she hugged her friend. I'll freeze him to death if he tries to get near Goku again, Graphia said with a dangerous look. But from your account, it wasn't a threat, right? Asked Sona, who had been summoned by Goku to give her the warning. Well, Rias didn't know if she should talk about Goku's divine form. That was because at that moment I was in my god form, Goku answered the question, to everyone's surprise. God, they all shouted at their friend's great revelation. Goku, are you okay with revealing it? Rias asked. It doesn't matter, Rias, it's not like I'm hiding it or anything, he replied with a smile. Besides, I have an even more powerful form than that. What? Everyone shouted again at Goku's new revelation. Are you really human, Goku? Sona asked, raising an eyebrow. I'm a Saiyan and a demon, he replied with a wide grin that made everyone sweat. Leaving that aside, the shadows I fought weren't just shadows, they had individual abilities and their own fighting styles, Goku told them, now serious. That's certainly strange, it's not like a normal shadow user, Sona said, with a hand on her chin. Besides, he seemed interested in your shadow, Rias replied, remembering what Zero had said. If that's true, maybe that guy can move between worlds to steal shadows, Graphia said. That would explain many things, Tiamat replied, remembering the Great Red and his ability. That doesn't matter, we just have to defeat him when he appears in case closed, Madaka said, taking out her fan with the word, victory, written on it. At Madaka's response, everyone smiled and nodded, confident that as long as Goku was with them, they couldn't lose. I have a bad feeling about all this, I hope I'm wrong, thought Goku, who felt that this could end badly in the future. The next morning, after breakfast, Goku told everyone he was going to Hell to talk to Sirzex about something. Rias wanted to go with him, but he refused, saying he wanted to go alone. Already in Hell, Goku was in the Mao's palace, meeting with his brother-in-law Sirzex and another person with green hair combed back and blue eyes, who was none other than Ajuka Beelzebub, another of the Mao. It's not that I'm not happy about your visit, Goku, but what does it mean? Sirzex asked. I just wanted to ask if you know the creator of the evil pieces, Goku replied, much to Sirzek's surprise. Ha ha ha, it seems you're lucky, because the creator of these is by your side, replied the Mao, laughing and pointing at Ajuka. Oh, that's good, Goku said with a smile. I am Ajuka Beelzebub, pleased to meet you son Goku, said the Mao, offering his hand. Same here, but just call me Goku. He accepted and they shook hands with a smile. And what is it you want to know about the evil pieces? Sirzex asked, intrigued. Well, I wanted to know if they can be removed once used, Goku said, surprising the Mao. Goku, do you intend to stop being a demon? Sirzex asked, worried that Goku would leave Rias. Not at all, I'm happy and I don't regret the decision I made. Thanks to that, I was able to meet the people I love and make many new friends, he replied with a big smile. Sirzex was relieved by Goku's response. He didn't want him to stop being a demon, because in the future this world would depend on him, and being a demon would be key to their morale. Above all, he had to protect his beloved sister Rias. I understand, you surprised me for a moment, said the Mao, wiping the sweat from his brow. It's not that it can't be done, but what's the reason? Ajuka asked. The day I agreed to let Rias make me part of her clan, I wasn't 100% sure about it, which is why I needed to use all 8 pawns. But now I'm completely comfortable with the situation, so I think it's unnecessary to have all the pawns since one would be enough, Goku told them his thoughts. That would certainly be possible, but why do you want to remove the 7 pawns? Sirzex asked. In the future, Rias will need more people by her side since I won't always be able to be there, so I thought of this solution, Goku replied sincerely. That's noble on your part Goku, said Ajuka sincerely. Furthermore, I intend to form my own clan in the future, and that's another reason for Rias to expand her clan for the future, Goku replied, thinking ahead. At that moment, footsteps were heard as if someone were running up, and the door burst open, revealing the cause of it. The culprit was a young woman who looked like a little girl with long black hair and 2 pigtails on the sides, her eyes were purple, and she wore a magical girl outfit with a wand in her hand. A girl, Goku thought when he saw her. The girl looked at the 3 of them, and when she saw Goku, her face lit up with a big smile and her eyes sparkled. She ran towards Goku and, with a jump, hooked her legs around his waist and her hands around his neck. I wanted to see you, Gotan. The girl said as she clung to him like a sloth to a branch. Ha ha ha, what an energetic girl. Goku laughed as he watched the girl. I'm Seraphal Leviathan, but you can call me Magical Girl Levitan, she said, introducing herself and winking at Goku. Pleased to meet you, Levitan, Goku replied with a smile. When she saw that he answered honestly, she was surprised that he didn't make fun of her or say anything about the magical girl thing, which pleased her even more. Gotan, you're amazing, Leviathan exclaimed, ecstatic at Goku's sincere acceptance, and kissed him on the cheek. Sirzek and Ajuka, who were witnessing this, could only manage forced smiles and a bead of sweat as they watched the supposed third Mao behave. Go-tan, could you show me the golden transformation that Sona-chan told me about? Leviathan asked, now descending from Goku, with hope in her eyes. Do you know Sona? Goku asked. Of course, she's my dear little sister, Seraphol said proudly, both hands on her hips, puffing out her chest. Small? Goku asked, confused, thinking the small one would be Seraphol, but seeing how proudly she puffed out her chest, he noticed how big it was and then seemed to understand. Oh, I see, he thought. Alright, but only if they agree, Goku said, looking at the two demons. They nodded in agreement, whereupon Goku distanced himself slightly from the three and got into position. I'll do it in a way that looks like one of the transformations you like, Goku said to Seraphol, remembering that she liked magical girls. And in that way, Goku began to slowly increase his power to make it more visual. Seraphol was excited to see Goku's hair rise and flicker from black to gold, and his eyes from black to emerald. When Goku felt that the power was ready, with a small cry his body shone with golden light, blinding those present. When they regained their sight, they beheld the legendary warrior who appears every 1,000 years. Searsex wasn't that surprised to have seen him during the incident with Riser Phoenix, but he was still surprised to feel him so close. Ajuka was trembling from the overwhelming power he exuded, but Seraphol was trembling for another reason, the excitement of seeing a transformation live and real. She ran towards Goku and with a leap began to circle him like a baby monkey, feeling the power of the Super Saiyan in her flesh. So, what do you think? Goku asked. Seraphol was now on the ground staring into Goku's emerald eyes as if hypnotized, thinking to herself, it's real, as she gazed at him. Goku, a little worried about Seraphol's reaction, placed his hand on her cheek, which finally made her react. But her reaction was something none of the three expected. She grabbed Goku's shirt, pulling him up to her level, and without warning, kissed him. With a passion as if it were the last time they would ever see each other. The kiss caught Goku off guard, and he was surprised by the passion with which she kissed him, which captivated him and he continued the kiss. The kiss was interrupted by lack of air, but when Seraphol was about to continue, Goku stopped her. Sarah-tan, this is neither the time nor the place for this, Goku said, pointing at the Mao who were staring wide-eyed at Seraphol's actions. Moo, Go-tan is mean, she replied, puffing out her cheeks adorably. Okay, but remember that this magical girl is yours from today on, she confessed, striking a magical girl pose. In the occult club room. At this moment, everyone was gathered in the occult research club room except for Goku, and Sona was explaining something to Rias. Some envoys from the church are requesting a meeting with you, Sona said. And what's the reason for that? Rias asked. I don't know their reason, but you can ask them when you meet, Sona explained. Rias, this is strange, Akino said. That's true, Akino, but I'm curious, Rias replied. Besides, if they look for trouble, we'll give them a beating, Madaka said enthusiastically. Madaka only thinks about fighting, Kiba said with a drop of sweat on his brow. The church, Asia said in a low voice, a little fearful. Don't worry, Asia, I'll protect you while Goku's gone, Rainer said as she hugged the nun. That's true, don't worry, Issei said, giving a thumbs up and trying to lighten the mood. Leave this to us, said Momo, who was now closer to Issei than ever before. Momo, Sona is here, so be careful what you say, Lizanna scolded Momo. Don't worry Lizanna, the president isn't against it, right? Momo replied, looking at Sona, who nodded. If they cross the line, I'll eat them, Tiamat said, causing beads of sweat to appear on the faces of those present as they watched her smile. Thank you guys, she said to those present with tears in her eyes. They're coming, Kaneko said, sensing two energies approaching. Everyone was on high alert. After all, they were demons, and they and the church didn't get along. The door opened and two figures in cloaks entered the room. They were hooded and, judging by their silhouettes, appeared to be women. When the hoods were removed, their confirmations were correct. They were two young girls, one with short blue hair with a green streak and the other with brown hair with two pigtails on either side. Thank you for having us, Rias Grimori, said the one with blue hair. You're welcome. What can we offer the church? Rias asked. Well, first of all, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Zenobia Quarta, and this is Irina Shido, said Zenobia, pointing to her companion. It's been a while, Issei, Irina greeted Issei. Do you know each other? Lizanna asked, and Momo pinched her arm. Ouch, stop, Momo, I don't remember meeting that cute girl, Issei replied, complaining about the pinch. Issei, you're so mean, we were neighbors, Irina said to Issei. I remember a boy who was my neighbor, but he moved away, Issei said thoughtfully. It's true I looked like a boy dressed as a girl, but it was me, Irina said in a fake furious tone. Issei looked at her closely and quickly made a perverted face. You've grown up well, he said in a perverted tone, to which he received a punch from Momo and Lizanna. Ha ha ha, you haven't changed, you've always been a pervert, Irina said, laughing at what had happened. Xenovia, on the other hand, was looking at those in the club with eyes as if she were searching for something or someone, which Rias noticed. Xenovia-san, are you looking for something? Rias asked. Which one of them is the one called Son Goku? Xenovia asked. None of them, he's not here right now, Rias replied. What a shame, I wanted to see if he really was as powerful as they say, she said with a sigh of disappointment. It seems the church is well informed, Madaka said mockingly. Of course, Kurokami Madaka, the church knows about all the potentially dangerous individuals for us, Xenovia replied with a cold stare. Well, what is the reason for your visit? Rias asked, cutting short the conversation that seemed to be going down a bad path between Xenovia and Madaka. We want to ask you not to interfere in our search for a fugitive, Xenovia replied. And that fugitive is in Kuo. Rias said, that's right, this is your territory, but the fugitive was part of the church, so it's our business, and we don't want any trouble with you, Xenovia said. I understand, I have no problem with that, Rias replied. Thank you, said Xenovia as she stood up. Can I ask the fugitive's name? Rias said out of curiosity. His name is Valpierre Galilei, she said. Everyone looked clueless except for one, Kiba, whose face filled with anger upon hearing that name. Xenovia noticed Asia and approached her, looking at her with contemptuous eyes. You're Asian, Argentinian, right? She asked the nun. Yes, that's me, Asia said, frightened by Xenovia's stare. I heard you were working with the fallen, but now you've become a demon. How low she who was once called the Holy Maiden has fallen, she said, spitting out the words with contempt. Upon hearing that, Asia began to tremble, remembering her past and how she was treated simply for healing a wounded demon, and how she was accused of being a witch. If you still believe in God even a little, let me free you from your sins by taking your life, said Xenovia, ready to eliminate Asia. You won't do any of that, Rainer said, pointing her light spear at Xenovia. So you hang out with trash like fallen angels too? You're beyond saving, Xenovia replied coldly. Just when it seemed that this situation was going to get out of control, Goku appeared in the center of the room. Goku looked around and, seeing someone he didn't know pointing his sword at Asia, who was crying and trembling, he quickly grabbed Xenovia by the neck with a speed that no one in the club could see. She was trapped by Goku's hand, which held her by the neck, lifted off the ground. When she looked into the Saiyan's eyes, they were colder than ice, and he was ready to break her neck if she didn't do something soon. Upon seeing her companion's condition, Irina quickly leapt at Goku, who extended his hand and unleashed a ki blast, slamming Irina against the wall. Rias and the others, seeing that Xenovia was on her last legs, rushed to stop Goku, who released her from his grip, letting her fall to the ground unconscious, while Irina was also pinned to the wall. This Goku is hopeless, Rias said, sighing at the situation. After waking up, Xenovia and Irina left the place after a lecture given by Goku. They were confused by what the Saiyan said, but they had to continue with their mission. Once home, Goku gave Rias the 7 pieces that had been taken from him in hell. Rias gladly accepted them, knowing that they would be useful to her in the future. Several things happened after Irina and Xenovia's visit. Kiba left the group to seek revenge, and Issei, along with Kaneko and Saji, helped him, along with the 2 from the church. Goku and the others went to Kuo Institute after sensing an evil ki, and upon arriving they encountered one of the leaders of the fallen angels, Kokobile, and with him were the Mad Father Freed and Balba Galilei. It's Kokobile-sama, Rainer said, surprised. So that guy is the one responsible for your suffering, Goku said with a cold stare. Well, what do we have here? It's the Mao's little sister along with her trashy servants, Kokobile said upon noticing Rias and the others. What are you doing here, Kokobile? Rias asked with a serious face. Not much, Grimori girl, I only came to start a war and this is where it will all begin, thanks to your deaths, Kokobile replied with a demented smile on his face. Do you want more blood to be spilled? Graphia asked. That's right, if it weren't for the stupid decision to call a ceasefire, we would have won the war, he said angrily. Kokobile, so much was lost during the last war. Do you want to repeat that same tragedy? Akino asked. This time it will be different, the only blood that will be spilled in this place will be yours, daughter of Barakio, he said confidently, a smile on his face. It seems that talking to him is useless, it seems that fighting is the only option left, Madaka said, cracking her knuckles with a savage smile. Ha! Sona, I'm leaving the barrier in your hands, Rias said with a sigh of resignation. Okay, leave it to me, but don't even think about losing, Sona said, and she said the last part looking at Goku. They were all perfectly aligned with Goku slightly ahead of them, demonstrating that he was the main force. Hey, you fallen brat, I hope you're ready after challenging us, Tiamat yelled at Kokobile. Kokobile looked closely at the girl who called him a winged brat and quickly realized who she was. Tiamat the Dragon Queen. What's someone of your level doing with trash like them? Kokobile stammered in surprise. Watch your words, brat. If you call my master trash again, I'll rip your head off. Tiamat warned Kokobile with her reptilian eyes. Your teacher, he said, surprised, and from behind him, a voice answered him, to his surprise. That's me, Goku said, and punched him, slamming him into the ground and creating a crater from the impact. The others interpreted this as a sign that the battle had begun, and they quickly charged against Kokobile's followers, thus beginning a massive battle. Kokobile, who had awakened, launched himself at Goku, only to strike an afterimage, as Goku was now on the ground with his arms crossed. Upon seeing this, Kokobile flew into a rage, launching spears of light at Goku, but he had no control over them as they failed to hit their target, who was still standing with his arms crossed. Goku, seeing this, thought how pathetic Kokobile was and didn't understand how such a guy could be considered one of the leaders of the fallen angels. Damn it, Kokobile shouted in despair, having failed to land a single hit. At that moment, behind Kokobile's back, a portal opened and from it emerged a person known as Goku. Hello again, Son Goku, I've come to get my revenge, said the individual who emerged from the portal. Zero, Goku said, now serious. It seems you remember my name, that's an honor for me, Zero said, giving an exaggerated bow. Didn't you learn last time that your toys are useless against me? Goku replied, oh, but this time I've brought you a special gift just for you, I hope you enjoy it, she said confidently. Zero created a new portal. Goku didn't know what would come out of it, but one thing was clear, it wasn't a shadow. From the portal emerged a being with enormous muscles and great size, its hair stood up greenish in color and its eyes were white. Have you gone mad, Zero? If you let him loose, he'll destroy everything. Goku shouted upon seeing the being that emerged from the portal. The creature looked around and when it saw Goku on the ground, its rage erupted in a scream. Kakarado-u, shouted the legendary Super Saiyan known as Broly. When Broly saw Kokobile in his path, he simply grabbed him by the head and squeezed it tightly, causing the head of one of the leaders of the Broccoli Angels to explode as if it were made of paper. Everyone who had been fighting until now stopped when they saw how easily Broly crushed the head of one of those considered the strongest among the leaders. Broly threw Kokobile's headless body as if it were a piece of trash. Seeing this, Kokobile's followers fled the scene, not wanting to die at the hands of the monster before them. Rias's clan members and others were horrified by the cruelty and coldness of that creature, which seemed to have a connection with Goku. Broly launched himself at Goku like a rampaging beast, but Goku quickly entered Super Saiyan form and stopped Broly's onslaught. Seeing his friends trying to join the battle, he kicked Broly away to buy some time. Stop, if you enter the battle you will die. Goku shouted at them, what are you saying? We're not going to let you fight that beast alone, Rias said, tears welling in her eyes. Ha 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 ha, this is your end, Son Goku, Zero laughed sinisterly. You damned worm, Tiamat screamed furiously as she lunged to attack Zero. With her hand transformed into that of a dragon, Tiamat used her claws to tear Zero apart, but what she attacked was only a copy. Ha ha ha, did you really think I'd be stupid enough to go against all of you alone? You disappoint me, mocked what remained of the Zero copy. Damn it, Tiamat cried out in lament, unable to unleash her rage against Goku's enemy. Don't be in a hurry, the day we face each other will come soon, until then you'll have to make do with these shadows. And with that, a great number of shadows appeared. Everyone, prepare for the fight, Rias said, and they all formed a circle to protect each other's backs. While the others faced the shadows, Goku faced Broly in a fierce battle. The blows were so powerful they sounded like bombs were exploding in the place. Neither of them retreated an inch, nor did they dodge each other's blows. It was just a battle to see who would give in first. Goku, not wanting to involve the others in the battle, opted for this method, but at this rate the battle could last too long due to Broly's berserk state, which gave him almost infinite stamina. Goku quickly thought of grabbing Broly by the neck and dragging him to the sea where he could fight without worry. "Guys!" Goku shouted. Upon hearing Goku's scream, they looked towards where he was. "Don't lose," he simply said with a smile and a thumbs up. And he grabbed Broly and flew off somewhere, leaving those words etched in the hearts and minds of his companions, who now had smiles on their faces. Out at sea, in a place where there was nothing around but water, Goku stood face to face with Broly, who was only growling and trembling with fury. "Now that we're alone, we can continue the fight," Goku told the furious Broly. "Kakarot, Kakarotu!" Broly roared angrily. Concentrating energy in his hand, Broly began launching green ki balls towards Goku, who deflected them all with his hands. Seeing this, Broly began to concentrate an abnormal amount of ki in his hand, launching a green sphere which grew larger and larger as it approached Goku. Goku stopped the attack with both hands, an attack that had enough power to erase not only the Earth but also the Moon and Mars. The ki blast was too much for the Super Saiyan state, and Goku had no choice but to transform into Super Saiyan 2 in order to dispel the large green ki sphere. Seeing this, Broly became even more enraged, charging at Goku with his shoulder, but Goku in his new state was superior to Broly and stopped him with a single hand. Seeing that Broly didn't give up and continued to push forward in the hope of overcoming him, Goku felt sorry for someone with so much power wasted by rage. Broly's power continued to increase, but the new Goku wasn't foolish enough to endanger Rias's and the others' lives just to enjoy a battle. He was determined to protect them, even if it meant foregoing a good fight, one that would surely be among the most epic and best of his life. "You who were once unstoppable, now you're just an idiot consumed by rage," Goku said sadly. "Grr, Kakarot," that was all the pitiful warrior, consumed by fury, could say. "Disappear, ghost of the past, and I pray that in our next life we can meet again under the right circumstances, goodbye." And with those words, Goku, with a Kamehameha, disintegrated the one who was once known as the most powerful and dangerous warrior. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. Goku stared at the sky for a while, wondering why things had ended this way or if there could have been a different way to resolve it, but what was done, and regretting it now was useless. There was only one thing that worried him, and that was how Zero could have brought Broly back. For Goku, the Broly incident happened many years ago, but the Broly from just moments before was the same one from back then. How could that be? Had he resurrected him? No, it was something different, and Goku knew it, but he didn't want to believe it. Because if it was true, that guy, Zero, could bring back anyone he wanted. "Well, when the time comes I'll deal with it, for now it's best if I go back to the others," said Goku, who was looking at the sky and shrugging his shoulders. And he used his teleportation to return to where his friends were. Akino's point of view. This is getting crazy. Kokobile, one of the 3 leaders of the fallen angels, suddenly appears in Kuo and says he wants to start a new war by killing Rias and us. Is he out of his mind? I don't understand what's going through this guy's head. Tiamat is angry because Kokobile insulted Goku, but it seems Goku doesn't care, as he isn't even paying attention to her words. Even in this situation, Goku is too relaxed. Without any warning, Goku punched Kokobile and sent him crashing to the ground, creating a huge crater. "This is my Goku, a guy who can't read the room, he. With Goku's move, we all launched into battle, but Kokobile's followers are no match for our group full of strong fighters. Just look at how Tiamat eliminates them to know there's no chance of victory against us. Even Madaka, who claims to be human though the way she fights, no one would guess it, is tearing through everything with a smile on her face. Doesn't she seem more demonic than we are? I think that girl has surpassed the threshold of humanity." While we were fighting, a guy dressed completely in black appeared. Judging by his appearance, I think he's the same one who attacked Rias and Goku the other day. After a brief conversation with Goku, the guy named Zero created a portal from which a huge, muscular man emerged. Upon seeing him, I somehow felt a terrible fear. What's with his gaze? It's as if he has no emotions. The giant guy seemed to know Goku for some reason, because upon seeing him he started shouting something like, Kakarot. Didn't Goku say that was his Saiyan name? But what happened next was even more surprising. The giant grabbed Kokobil's head with his hand and, with one squeeze, crushed it to pieces. It was a very unpleasant sight to witness. Tiamat lunged at Zero, but the guy in front of us was just a copy. Tiamat was frustrated by Zero's mockery. It's clear she cares a lot about Goku. Goku and the giant are facing off. That guy isn't just big, he's incredibly powerful. If he can go toe-to-toe with Goku, it's a battle on a level no one else in this world could ever handle. When Rias and the others tried to join the fight, Goku shouted a warning not to even think about interfering. Rias tearfully asked him why, and he replied that we would only die if we faced the big guy. After telling us, don't lose, with his charming smile, he grabbed the big guy and left for a place where no one would bother them during their fight. Zero, before disappearing, left a few of his shadows to fight us. I think that guy underestimates us too much. Doesn't he know Goku is training us? It took a little longer than expected. It wasn't an easy battle, but I wouldn't say it was difficult either. A while back, we probably would have lost, but with Goku's training, and it's wrong of me to say so, we're on a very different level from the rest, and those shadows didn't cause many problems. The only one who had a hard time was Xenovia, but with the help of Asia and Rainer, she managed to pull it off. After that, Xenovia apologized to Asia and Rainer for the horrible things she said to them. While we were resting after the battle, Goku appeared. How useful his teleportation is. Isn't it kind of cheating? But nothing this kid can do surprises me anymore, to be honest. While everyone bombarded him with questions, Goku told us who the giant guy was. Apparently, he was the same race as him and for some reason hated him. Everyone was surprised that someone would hate Goku, who was the kindest and most gentle person you could ever meet. But what surprised us most was that the guy, whose name was Broly, was the legendary Super Saiyan. In what world could that crazy lunatic be a legendary warrior? While we were chatting casually, a man in white armor suddenly appeared. Apparently, that guy was the other divine dragon, Albion, and his wielder was named Valley. The most curious thing was that he seemed to be an acquaintance of Goku and also his student. When asked what he was doing there, he said he came to take Kokobil away. I refrained from telling him it was a bit late for that, but as always, Goku, who can't read the room, simply pointed to where the headless body of one of the three leaders of the fallen lay. Upon seeing the corpse, Valley asked Goku if it was his doing. Goku explained what had happened, and after hearing the story, Valley simply took the headless body to Gregory as evidence. As he was about to leave, the voice of the other divine dragon, Didrake, was heard from Issei's gauntlet, and Albion answered from Valley's. After the two dragons talked and Valley left a future challenge for Issei, he left the place. As we were about to leave, I began to remember the moment Kokobil revealed my father's name in front of everyone, and I started to feel bad thinking about everyone's rejection, but what really hurt was Goku rejecting me for having that tainted blood in my veins. After that day, I tried several times to tell Goku about my origins, but the fear of rejection left me speechless. In the following days several things happened, such as the addition of Xenovia, who, after learning that there was no longer a god, decided to join our group. Apparently, she and Issei don't get along very well, but thanks to Asia and Lizanna's intervention, it seems they no longer argue as much as they did at the beginning. It seems that Xenovia has a great interest in Goku. She wants to give birth to a powerful son, and after the little incident she had with him, it seems she is very clear about it, and she keeps bothering Goku about it. Surely in a few more days Goku will give in to the pressure and make her another one of his girlfriends, so to speak. Xenovia, what a terrifying girl. After that, Rias revealed that there was another member of the clan, but she had him sealed away as a precaution and at his own request. When everyone met Gasper, they were surprised by his appearance, but what surprised them most was the revelation that he was a man. This made poor Issei cry. After several things, I was called by the Archangel Michael who wanted to meet with Goku to give him a weapon. While we were at the club, I took Goku aside to be alone with him and explained what was happening. He quickly agreed, saying that if I asked him, there was no reason to refuse, all while smiling. Does he trust me that much? I won't deny that I'm very happy about his trust, but at the same time, it hurt me. Hide my father's secret from him. The next day, I was ready at the temple waiting for Goku's arrival. Today, without fail, I would tell him about myself and my father. I was sure Goku would understand, but even knowing that, I couldn't help but be afraid of rejection. While he was thinking about that, Goku arrived at the agreed time, and just after he was served some tea, Michael-sama made his appearance. When the two saw each other, they greeted each other as if they'd known each other for ages. What's going on here? When they both realized my confusion, they explained how they met. Wasn't there something strange about Michael's sister in that story? No, I must have misheard. There's no way one of the archangels of heaven would fall in love with Goku, or so I hope. After Michael explained the sword to Goku, he handed it to him. Goku initially refused, saying he didn't need such things, but Michael insisted he keep it and, if he found someone he trusted, give the sword to them if he wished. After that, Michael prepared to leave, saying he had some things to prepare for the Three Factions conference. But before leaving, he told Goku that Gabriel missed him and wanted to see him again, and with that, he departed. What? Hey, what were you doing up in the sky, Goku-san? What kind of training did you do up there? After calming my thoughts, I poured Goku some tea, and we both sat in silence while we drank and ate some pastries. After gathering all the courage in the world, I finally broke the silence and told Goku about my origins. As I spoke, he listened silently and seriously to everything I said, and finally I showed him my fallen angel wings. He was just silent, not saying anything, as if he were thinking about what to say, and that made me nervous. Would he reject me? It wouldn't be surprising, after what they put Rainer through. But his response was unexpected. He simply said, "So what?" Those words completely disarmed me. I yelled at him that I had the blood of those who injured Asia and Rainer on me, but he just said that had nothing to do with it. I already knew about your fallen angel side, but I didn't say anything, hoping that one day you would tell me yourself. That's what he said, as if it were nothing. What did he know? And even knowing that, he didn't care. Just with those words she said, it was as if a great weight on me disappeared, and I could no longer hold back the tears I had suppressed for so long, and I began to cry like a child. He gently hugged me, while he drew me to his place and cradled me in his lap while he sweetly stroked my head. Gently he whispered in my ear, "You are you, Akeno. It doesn't matter who your father is, you are important to me. I will never deny anything about you, whether it's your fallen angel side or your demon side." Those were the words I always wanted to hear from him. I knew Goku would never deny anything about me, but deep down, a small part of me was afraid of his rejection. But after those words, all doubt and fear vanished from within me. After crying for a while in his arms, I tried to get up so I could go wash my face, realizing how awful it must look after crying and sniffling so much. As I tried to stand up, hiding my face so he wouldn't see me in this state, he grabbed me to stop me while I told him to let go and not look at my face as I hid it in shame. But with a little force he pulled me back onto his lap and with his hands took mine away from my face while his own hands cupped my face. At that moment he told me that I was beautiful, and that no matter how I looked, I would always be beautiful in his eyes. This damn guy, is he a gigolo or something? He knows exactly what to say when he needs to. I have to say, I don't dislike it, on the contrary, I love it when he praises me, especially if it's the person I love. But at this rate, I won't be able to take it anymore, and I'll devour him whole myself, ufu. Just as I was thinking that, as if they had a sixth sense or something, the others appeared when they saw that Goku was taking too long to return. Are you his mother's or something? Well, at least I know his feelings for me, so from now on I won't hold back anymore. Girls, get ready because Himehime Akeno is entering the game and I'll be the first to spend a wild night with Goku. Hey. That's all for today, see you in next video, and next part will be the final part of the series.